When we're getting distracted by our next guest, to be honest with you.
Well, that's a funny noise.
Yeah.
What did that mean? Welcome.
Welcome. Thanks for having me here.
She's a little drunk.
Let's do the official introduction first. It has been hailed as the future for big-budget drama. Several companies started streaming new programs online for paying customers rather than showing them on TV.
Yes, the on-demand site Netflix already scored a critical and commercial success with their series House of Cards, and they're now hoping to repeat the trick with a comedy drama set in a women's prison.
It's called Orange is the New Black. It features a cast of well-known faces. Two of them join us now. You just saw them. Jason Biggs, who starred in the American Pie films. Taylor Schilling from the Oscar-winning film Argo. Very good morning.
That's not a bad introduction.
Was that all right? Did that pass?
okay?
I quite enjoyed that.
Good.
That's nice.
Are you already doing an English accent?
I'm a bit. I'm very embarrassed right now. I'm gonna stop.
Well, we'll give you a chance to recover for a moment and have a quick look at the film. Yes.
No, don't, it's funny. Let's have a look at some of It is a bit like that, isn't it? Sort of Bourne movie in some ways. Who wants to set up the story for us? Taylor?
Do you want me to go?
Go for it.
All right, I'm going to stop talking in English accent before I preserve my dignity, okay? Okay, so...
Or offend the nation.
Or offend the entire audience.
Offend everybody.
She's imitating me, that's what happened.
No, I just like being here. I'm having so much fun in London.
Or Manchester.
Manchester.
Okay.
This
Orange
could go
is the new
any
black.
number of ways.
Yeah. So
Maybe we'll ask Jason what the
Jason,
plot
do you want
is.
to plot? Why don't you do that?
Sure. Yeah. Well, it's based on a true story. So Piper Kerman is a woman who wrote this memoir about her experience. She was sentenced to 15 months in a federal penitentiary for a crime that she had committed when she was right out of college, and we pick up the story where Piper is engaged to my character Larry, and they're just basically a yuppie couple living in Brooklyn. Larry has no idea about this sort of checkered part of her past, and she gets ratted out basically right before the statute of limitations expires, and she's sent to prison to live with this crazy cast of characters there.
And the moment we saw there was the kind of the reveal moment when you're starting to find out the person, well, you don't really know, as it turns out.
Yeah, it's kind of like they start to reconcile in this show this life that Piper had before she met Larry and the woman that she became afterwards. And so being sent to prison, she sort of has to blend those two people together.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I've seen quite a lot of the prison scenes, and she's very much the odd one out, actually, in the environment that she's in, and that's tough.
Yeah, well, it's a real fish out of water situation. Where all of the rules, she got by on manners and reading books and being a properly educated woman, and that doesn't work in prison. And so she has to develop new skills.
Jason, have you spent much time in women's prisons?
More than you would imagine. No, I've spent no time in women's prison, fortunately. Yeah, no, just on set. They built a really incredible set, though.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, it gives me anxiety when I have to shoot on that set. Well, you're there 16 hours a day, almost 5 days a week.
I am there
I just
a lot.
pop in here and there a little bit when I do visitation scenes, but it's an incredible set.
And Taylor, you have been to visit prisons as well.
Yes, I have been. And you know, I went after we'd been shooting for a little while, and the woman who wrote the book, Piper Kerman, we went together. She does a lot of really wonderful work in women's prisons in the United States. And so I was totally struck by how closely our set resembled a women's penitentiary, and it's really represented well in the show. So what you see sort of happening on set is really kind of a peek into what a women's prison in the States is like.
What's really, there's so many interesting things in the show. It's a big cast, actually, with some, you two are not, you're the main characters, but all the other characters as well are well developed, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge cast of characters. And one of the things I really, really love about the show is that it features women of all different shapes and sizes and colors and orientations, and a lot of faces that you don't necessarily see on television a lot. And we follow those stories fully. We go deeply into their lives.
And it's described, Jason, as a comedy drama, isn't it? Is there much tradition of comedy set in prisons in America? Because over here, you almost certainly won't have heard of it. We had Porridge, which is a very, very very, very successful and popular soap, effectively a comedy set. Well, it wasn't a soap. It was a comedy drama set in a prison.
Really?
Yeah, you
Hugely
need to see it.
popular. You should watch it
Really?
actually. But there aren't
I
that
gotta
many
check it
comedies
out.
set in
Yeah, that
prisons.
actually
I
sounds
wouldn't
really good.
imagine.
No, there's not. No. We've had Oz, and basically they all skew dramatic. This is this is from it was adapted by Genji Cohen, who created Weeds, which, if your audience is familiar, it's a quirky show. It takes on kind of serious subject matter with kind of really interesting characters, but kind of lightens it up and shows them in kind of I guess a quirky manner, and so similarly does it here.
I was thinking about it. You're probably completely bemused by why a prison drama would be called Porridge.
Absolutely.
I thought you were talking about food.
I know. I was assuming
I had porridge this morning for breakfast.
It's because over
Not
here,
what you're
porridge
talking
is
about at
another
all.
word for jail time.
Oh, really?
If you're doing porridge, it's a phrase for jail. I just thought I'd
And why?
explain
So you're
that.
going to...
Do you know, I knew you'd ask me that, and I don't know. Do you know why? Why is porridge called porridge?
I don't know, and there's nobody else to ask.
Somebody else will know.
I tell you what, we'll
say
play a
you're-
clip and we'll see if we can get the answer for you.
Perfect.
Okay.
This is just before your character went to prison. Let's have a look.
I'm here.
Things are about to get a bit tough for her, aren't they, really? We should say, I did watch it last night, it's not for younger viewers,
No.
is it?
No, it's not. It's not for children.
Yeah.
Probably not. I mean, it depends on your parenting
Yes,
style.
perhaps
but I
maybe
mean,
not.
And the whole
Just to
thing
do with language and some of the images as well.
Yeah.
My kids can watch it, but
No,
but I'm a bad example.
How old are
in
your
all
kids?
respects. Well, they're not born yet, but
I had a feeling that
that's
might
part
be
of
the
the
answer to
problem.
that.
And we mentioned the fact that the business of this being on the internet rather than on network television. Is that an exciting prospect? But you're both big stars in your own right. Well, you are, aren't you? Aren't you?
well, that you were sitting
for
next
someone
to a
of my
star.
magnitude, it's my star shines bright across all mediums, obviously, and there's really no containing my voltage. It's like, I've conquered the big screen, I've conquered the small screen, and now it's time to conquer the really small screen.
It's a very good
And
answer,
normally,
isn't it?
you think it goes the other way, but I'm abort.
The good news is, as well, it's been, how do you say in America, recommissioned? You're going to do a new series?
Yeah, we're going to do a second season, which is
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah.
We're going to start, I think, shooting very soon at the end of July, which is really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I got to check my schedule, obviously, and
Oh,
see.
yes, because
I have
obviously there'll be
so many
lots of calls.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in such demand, but
Completely unconnected to anything, but we just introduced Taylor to page 3 in The Sun.
I had no idea
Yeah,
that
and
was
you
a
were very
part of
shocked, weren't you?
Well, I mean, she got to put her shirt on.
I say we introduced you to it. We didn't deliberately show it.
She lives in Manchester.
I think it's worth noting that I deliberately showed her.
Jason introduced
sort
me
of
to her.
cultural exchange of sorts. Lovely to see you here today.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest
It's a
of your
pleasure.
stay here in the UK.
I
hope
love it
gets
here.
better. Orange is the New Black will be available on Netflix from the 11th of July.
So let's